Why is this app so finicky? Shoot. Okay, I'm going to see. Hopefully it's not saying I'm still live. We're going to see if this one's still showing I'm live. I'm going to try to get the new live in there. Hi, guys. Welcome in. Welcome in. The app crashed out. And so now I'm trying to get everybody back in. I can't do anything about it, Code Red. When it crashes out on the app, it just does this. Yes, it is acting like TikTok right now. So it just crashed out the live. We had 300 people in there. Hi, Chrissy. What in the world just happened? There's still like 100 people over there. I'm trying to get people to come over here. Thank you, Code Red. No, you're totally good. There's still 100 people over there. I'm like, what is happening? Maybe. Leave them, they're stragglers. I wish I could see it from TikTok Studio. It's the whole app over there just crashed out. It crashed and burned. It's fine. We'll figure it out. I still don't understand why it does that. Nothing would surprise you anymore. I agree. I am back. I am back. I'll wait for everybody to get back in here before we continue on, just for the fact that we were talking and then it just crashed down. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button and we will get everything going in here. What is something that you... Oh, Oracle has been effing around with TikTok. I will not lie on there. No, I didn't get DDoSed. But it crashed out. It literally, the whole thing was just gone. The whole thing was gone. So I'm like, okay, I guess this is what we're doing. But if you can prep, I would suggest you prep now. That is my biggest suggestion for anybody. If you've been hesitant on different preps, I would do it. We just got 9-gallon food containers. It's saying something got saved to my videos. Okay. This app is so weird. It's very behind. Oh, and I have to make sure it says all chat. Okay, so what happens is, so we got the 9-gallon containers, started filling those with food. I want to get some new preps. What should I get for prepping? Do you have antibiotics? That's like first thing I'm going to ask. The reason why I suggest, you got Prussian blue, you've got potassium iodide, but a lot of people don't think about when your immune system is already exposed to radiation, you will become immunocompromised, which means you are more prone to pneumonia, more prone to bronchitis, more prone to infections. Tell my husband. Oh. Oh, Tech, are we vibing? We're vibing. Get a water machine. You went to the grocery store and picked up 10 cases of canned food. Way to go, Jeff. You're an entertainment prepper? Ooh, Bobby, what does that mean? Are we going to become friends? So, things that I prep for that I don't see a lot of other people talk about are I have a lot of vinyl. Okay. Vinyl records. I do. I like my movies. I like those kind of things. Games. Hello, Vince. Is it snowing there? You guys are going through like the Arctic, and over here we're going through heat waves. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Jeremy, nice. Oh, do tell. I guess I could take you in there. Would you like to see it? Ham radios are great. I have Has anyone tried the rapid radios? I just ordered a set. Never ever used them. I feel a little weird about them, so I don't promote them yet because I heard that you can do a lot of tracking on them. So we have a couple techies that are going to look. This is just part of my collection, but these are all my vinyls. And I like them. I know it's not your like standard prep, but I think it's really important. Somebody said that they have rapid. You thought about rapid rate? Yeah, I know. I think that they do. So I bought them to test them. I have a few friends that are very much into the tech side. They're like obsessively into the tech side on radios. So they are going to put them to the beating. The beating. Welcome back. I die without music. Yes. Old school Kansas and the Apocalypse. I have original Elvis records. I have a lot. I have a lot of classics. They don't work. That's what I figured that they wouldn't. So I bought them just to test it. I like to test gear and then decide if I hate it or like it. Mm-hmm. You're not an Elvis fan? That's totally fine. I dig that. But what you can do prepping wise, you got to do it. How long till you guys think that we're going to see empty shelves? I mean, we were calling this stuff before the pandemic happened. How long? How long do you think till we see the panic set in? 3 weeks? Do you think Trump's going to pull something at 4 a.m. and then the stock market will be magically fixed? We've been talking about it. I mean, every single Monday I've talked about the market manipulation. 3 weeks? A month? We all know with the Strait being closed that it's going to impact the global supply for over 12 months. Should we start titling it Market Manipulation Monday? Like right at 4 a.m. whenever the Truth Social post comes out, and I'll just title it right off the rip, and I'll say Market manipulation Mondays. Yes. I mean, that's what it's going to happen. It's 10:32 p.m. here. I think on the East Coast it's 12 a.m. and there's nothing to see, you know? When do you think the general public will finally figure it out? When, just like with the pandemic, are they going to wait until antibiotics are short? That pharmacies are having a hard time? I mean, I know one of my moderators, he couldn't get his blood pressure medication for almost 6 months. Somebody was trying to argue with you over grocery store prices. I think that's crazy. When the news starts telling, when's the news going to start telling? I mean, you got in the UK, they're pushing for everybody to be prepping. Good evening, Storm Radios. Welcome in, welcome in. How long? I'm trying to remember the week by week with the pandemic. Pandemic was coming, all of us were prepping. And then what was it? Like the first cases here. When it's too late. Can you imagine just the fights and arguments? Do we think we'll see fights at the gas pumps? Oh, I was so upset today. It cost me over $85 to fill my tank. Things are going to escalate. They're going to continue to escalate. Kirby, I have not heard about that. $10 a gallon. I think it's like $8.60 in California right now. Should we check and see what's going on? Starting. Should we go take a peek? Should we go check? The Asian markets are a dumpster fire right now, just if you did not know that. Everything is plummeting. Absolutely plummeting. I think we're going to see quite a bit. Which one? What are we looking at? Europe looks rough. Asia, it's not good. You do, Kimberly? My husband has like a whole video of it. Like my husband, I'll tell you, he used to be a skeptic. He was a big skeptic when it came to prepping. Huge skeptic. He was like, I'd always say that there's going to be a crisis. And then we would see the supply chain tighten down. And then panic would set in. And then more control, more control. And he was like, okay, all right, okay, oh, all right. You know, and he'd turn up the TV, you know, a little bit louder. He's just like, okay. And I just continued to do what I do. Continued to stack, repeat. And when I say this very loudly to you, stack and repeat. Stack and repeat and stack and repeat. And he went to the grocery store and it was during all the chaos. And he FaceTimed me and he was like, you were right. You were right. And I knew I was right. I didn't want to be right because who would want that? Marsha, I swear the United States wants everyone to just stay calm. That everything's fine. Everything is okay. There is no potential threat. Everything is fine. They've got this crisis completely under control. We are making America great again, and we are going to be as independent as possible. And that's not like, this isn't political, you guys. This is just, people are believing it. They're believing it. Says chalk. Oh, Jason's like, I think at 4 a.m. he's gonna say talks with Iran are happening. And people will believe it. They'll be gaslit into it and they'll be like, yeah, you're right, you're right. Hold on, I'm looking up all the oil prices. I'm just watching. Their market should be opening anytime now, right? West Texas and Brent oil. Hold on. All right, so Brent oil on the 30th, 116.75, and the low is 113.79. So that's around where it's at right now. What do we think WTI is going to be? What do we think? It was 114 over a few hours ago. Yeah. $6.50 at the pump for diesel. Guarantee it'll be up. How long was World War I and World War II planned accordingly? Start 3 months, work to a year. Two days later, Walmart shelves were empty. Yeah. If it hits 120 tomorrow, yeah, SHTF is here. Prices are going to go up. It's going to get crazy. It's going to get crazy. We don't know if it's going to hit $120, but it's going to get crazy. Do we think by closing it will? Chrissy, you're fine. Thank you so much for that block in here. No, not tomorrow. Do you think it will be on Wednesday? Or will it be Friday? Because they want you to stay calm all week long. And then when the markets close on Friday, that's when everything happens. White Rose, you look evil. Okay. Continue. Thanks for the engagement. In 2008, you believe it hit 147? I don't remember if it was 147. So Corey says, I stocked up thinking Biden would F us, and now we're dealing with this. Here is the thing, though, Corey. It would not have mattered who was in office. And I know that that's going to upset and ruffle feathers in here. Every single pandemic, government control, my Band-Aid's coming off. I cut my hand up working on the camper today. Every single pandemic, government control, or plague has always been followed by inflation, cost of living, or famine. And then on the other side of that triangle is war. I don't think it would have mattered no matter what, because wars make money and that's what they want. For centuries, every one of those little incidences comboed together always will have war. War, A, go lay down. Magnus, my cat's there. You were right. Brent crude oil reached 147 per barrel. July 11th, 2008. Thank you so much for saying that. I was overseas on those days. Are you going to sit down? The cat hates the dog. The dog loves the cat. A kitty with no tail? Yeah, she's got no tail. Is your head okay? You just hit it on the table. Ruffle feathers, I don't care for any politicians. They're all the same. Anything that involves lobbyists is all the same. A lot of people don't realize that. So people who are funding a ballroom are also funding the opposite party throwing a fit towards the other one. And a lot of people don't realize it. It's all public record. You can find all their names. Thank you, Kelly. Oh my gosh, Kelly's in here too. We got 3 mods in here, I think. We got Kelly, Chrissy, and Code Red. I'm not sure if there's other mods in here. I know it's late. I know it's late at night. Jordan's back. Welcome in. They changed the definition of the word pandemic. Yeah. I think it was more like a soft plague. Am I ready for World War III? What do you mean? Am I ready for World War III? Are you ready for World War III? Problem is, some people think that there's left and right, but at the same time, I mean, it just depends on how you view it. I know people who died from it, so I wouldn't say it was like plague level. But I also saw more people die during the swine flu like quicker. I worked during the swine flu. When the swine flu hit Oregon, it hit a very small town with a lot of elderly, and people were dropping like flies. And Obama actually almost called a quarantine for that area. That they're reducing fuel tax by 26 centimeters and it still won't help. Panic will set in. How do you associate pandemics with the current administration? I'm not. I think no matter what, we would end up in war. Biden and Kamala wanted war with Russia. They wanted more long-range missiles. Trump wants war with Iran. Both have nukes. Hi, Jar. Jason, I would give IVs. Somebody would be completely stable. I would come back and they were dead. So COVID, I mean, it was just a long, excruciating whatever it was. The National Guard will protect us from what? Any thoughts on homemade Prussian blue? No, I would not do that. I have a bachelor's degree in biology and I would not. And I minored in chem. I would not. I would not. Nope. Don't know if I would do that one. Do we think the draft is going to be instated? I mean, this is a possibility. I mean, it's a perfect storm. You had the Biden administration kick soldiers out when we were finally at really good capacity. Recruiting numbers were at a low of what they needed because job slots were filled and there was a good amount. Now, I mean, they kicked him out over a jab. No matter which way you look at it, it was disgusting. It was distasteful. Now they're asking, hey, by the way, sorry you got kicked out. Would you like to join up? And then they just raised the age of enlistment. And what Caroline Lovett's been on the news multiple times talking about the draft is not off the table. Do you think Iran has the capability to paratroop over the U.S. like they did in Israel? No. No. We monitor our airspace a lot tighter. No, I don't think so. But, I mean, actually, I wouldn't say no. We did let a freaking balloon go across our entire country before we shot it down. Jeremy, I agree with that one. I mean, I think it would be silly. Now, I don't think that they would do a ground invasion. I think that they would wipe our grid. Our grid is extremely vulnerable. Hacking happens here all the time. We have hospitals that are paying out hackers. Israel has no plan to send troops to Iran ever. Okay, I have to ask you guys because I have screenshots of the articles as they were coming out. Now they have been altered and they are not reporting the same thing. Who in here has been watching the news as it's actually going on? Like once it's hitting. The news said Israel hit Iran's nuclear facility, Bushehr. Now it says Israel and the US hit the nuclear facility. Do we think, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I don't care what you like or if you don't like it. Do you think maybe there could have been some sort of conversation and Israel said, F it, let's just do this? Stop. Hold on. I'm going to take, because they've now changed it. Hold on. I'm taking him upstairs. Up. Come on. Come. Yep. You're in trouble. Came for prepping, stayed for pets. I had to go separate the pets. The U.S. is only involved in specific attacks if it won't hurt the midterms. That's if we make it to midterms. FEMA is defunded right now, and it's horrible. I'm trying to go back through your comments. Israel went for it. I think they did. The cat grew tail? No, there's 2 cats. Iraq will invade Kuwait. Yemen will invade Saudi Arabia. I think with Homeland Security being shut down that there's a possibility for something worse to happen. Is 3 months worth of preps enough? I'll ask that to the whole class. Is 3 months worth of preps enough? I grew up prepping. My whole family did it. I can show you this way. Like those number 10 cans up there, those are over 70 years old. That's for my grandparents. I don't think 3 months is enough. I think 6 months is definitely the new basic. I agree with you, Alina's. I agree with the idea of instead of the baseline used to be 2 weeks. You look too good to be 70. I'm not 70. My grandparents taught me how, and I lived with them growing up. And those are from my grandparents. And I've continued to do what they taught. So, yeah. It's like a time capsule. I know. It's really nice. The ones that are from the 40s are like a dark royal blue. Lord, there's a lot of politics in here for prepping. I'm trying to go through this. Ooh. That's a lot going on in there. Love, love. It's no use to argue with them. Yeah, AI filter. You want to see my scar? It's on my chin. There's no filter there. Nice try. Water, water, water. I agree. Do I have a garden? Yes. Right now I have all of my seedlings. These ones are getting actually ready to be transported out to start getting acclimated to the weather. They will be in a greenhouse that's outside. I got a little portable greenhouse to try to keep them a little bit warmer. Randy, play nice. Do I have grow lights? Yep. I just showed you the grow lights, everything. I grow most of all this food and preserve it myself. All of this that you see right there. I just brought in my bag. My hydroponics are actually doing really good. I'm actually really liking the system. Kelly, if you're still in here, they're doing fantastic. I think we're going to have an energy crisis. The fuel crisis is going on. And then you got to look at all of the tightening of the supply chain. Hello, Stay Survived. Welcome back in. I'm glad you're here. I'm sorry it's so late. Unhinged said, do seedlings need grow lights or is a window sunlight sufficient? Okay, I'm going to tell you the part that everybody is going to get uncomfortable with. You don't need them. You don't need grow lights. I've grown a huge garden my entire life. I have used windowsills, everything. And then when you have time to upgrade to get like a heat mat or lights, those kind of things, you can do that. I have grown seedlings just fine in a window. What I like to do is put saran wrap over those that are in a window to just get that germination, that humidity in there. You're working a graveyard shift? Okay, so this works perfect. Perfect. Urban Homestead, welcome in, welcome in. You like yours? Iran with a nuclear weapon is not acceptable. I agree with that. I'm going to have different opinions on it. I spend a lot of time in the Middle East. I am not for them having anything. No 60% uranium. I'm sorry. I don't. It is 11 p.m. where I'm at. I mean, you have AI centers, energy crisis, fuel crisis. Fuel prices are going to cost your grocery prices. People are already living paycheck to paycheck. Our grid is a joke, Duke, 100%. What brand of seeds does everybody use? I can show you. I do from Rare Seeds. Best way to have extra gas, jerry cans. Jerry cans. Get the fuel ones. The metal ones are way better if you can afford them. Marsh. Oh, are they? Australia is telling its people to plan for economic stress. I know that there is many countries right now asking people to work from home, to do meetings virtually. It's just crazy. Five hours ago. Wow. Oh, priority. Yeah. I don't think it will be anything good. I think a lot of you guys like to make assumptions of like how I'm supposed to feel about a conflict. Well, most of you guys are sitting in a recliner watching me talk while my husband is overseas right now. I'm not going to give you my opinion on it. Oh, I definitely think that there's sleeper cells here, 100%. Expect this to continue until late June. Warrior, I would say expect it to continue much further. With that strait being closed, they said economically will affect the globe for 12 months if it's closed for, what, 4 weeks? 4 weeks? Is 5,000 rounds of ammo per weapon enough? That's a very subjective question. I don't think there will ever be enough ammunition. Ever. Never enough ammo. I'm like, I really don't think that it will, like, buy ammo every month. That's what we do. Jason says, are you in a city? I feel our country isn't really ready for a real sleeper attack. What do you think? I'm in Florida, and what's going on with these sleeper cells? Well, I think with Homeland Security being shut down, I think we are more prone to have a sleeper cell attack much quicker than expected. I love Wyoming. I love it here. What do we think that the oil prices will end today at? Oh, okay. Did that just update? Hold up, hold up. I'm watching. Hold on. I'm just reading these prices. Okay, so far for Brent, their highest right now is hit 116.75. Doesn't mean it's going to stay there. We don't know. What do you mean we haven't seen any sleeper cell? I don't know if I would say we haven't seen any. I think we've seen some definite warning sites. I'm sorry. I am not okay with death to America in airports. We're seeing more threats like that in airplanes than since before 9/11. Close the market tomorrow. You're guessing crude is going to be 97, Brent 110. You think 110? I don't know where you would get 2 magazines of 2,500 rounds in a civilian sector. A Tic Tac. I just got in. I haven't had dinner. I haven't had dinner. We worked on the property all day today. I'm super sunburnt. I had to put some makeup on over it. I'm hoping it's going to tide over being hungry. Crude figures right now, 110.30, you think? Possibility. Welcome in, welcome in. I don't know. I think with Homeland Security being not funded, we are posing a serious risk to civilians. I think whatever is going to happen, it's going to happen here in the next 4 hours and 45 minutes. So if you're watching this the next day, we'll find out if it happened. I think he's going to make some crazy post. We're just going to call it Manipulation Mondays with the market. And everything's going to be peace and everything's going to be wonderful. You're eating pecans. Lisa, that would be horrible. Oh, 101. Maybe. Are you talking about Brent or are you talking about TWI? Oh, that would be awful, Sergeant. It would be awful. Flying to Fairbanks, Alaska in April for an anniversary. Should I cancel it? That's up to you. You're having a rum and Coke over ice? I would love to have a drink right now. I got a Diet Coke. Who's doing extra food runs? I'm noticing people they're picking up their antibiotics, they're getting their ivermectin. There's a lot. Like, there's a lot going on. I've been working on rain barrels and rainwater collection for the property because if something happens, I would want my property to be at least have some sort of recurring or water storage for the garden. And I'm only talking the rainwater is for the garden area. Sam's Dollar Tree. Christy says, getting off the boat tomorrow from the Caribbean in Kentucky, working on the property. Why they want to cancel their trips? I don't know. It just depends on where they are. I don't know. I mean, we had friends that were going overseas, like to the Middle East, and they canceled their trips, which I understood why. Like they were going to Dubai in the middle of this, and so then they did cancel their trips. I could see that. But the other parts, I mean, you did, Kirby? Nice. I added on ours. So for my husband's case, we did a whole parasite kit. Mine, I add in extra Tamiflu because I just swear every time you want to cut that flu in half, you're missing your windows. What else did I add extra? Ivermectin, albuterol. I'm trying to think of what else I added extra on this one. Any veterans that are in here, I always do the ibuprofen 800. I don't care who you are. When you do the ibuprofen 200 milligrams, they don't hit the same, even if you stack them, as an ibuprofen 800. Water in an 800 ibuprofen cures almost anything. Break a leg, take ibuprofen and drink water. You get blown up, take ibuprofen, drink water. That is just like a go-to, so I always do that one. I always do. Don't ask why. Old habits die hard. Water filtration, I love it. Prednisone, that's the one we add in there too. I feel like that one's on there. There's two I wasn't able to pick up this month, but I'm hoping to get next month. Oh yeah, Raven says, don't forget to change your socks. I know, right? Extra socks, ibuprofen, and water cures everything. Cipro is really important. With the ideas of radiation, a lot of people are missing that information and they get really judgy and they get angry when it comes to when I said, you guys need antibiotics. You know, I have a Jace code, save yourself some money, whatever you want to do. But once you've been exposed to radiation, even if you're taking potassium iodide, even if you're taking Prussian blue, your immune system is compromised. A cold turns into pneumonia or bronchitis. You have all of these other things that could go on. You need antibiotics. You do, because your body would be way more vulnerable than it normally would be. Christy's like, I had to rewind. I agree with canceling trips to the Middle East. Yep. My friends, they were like, well, we really want to go to Dubai. Should I cancel? And I was like, did you not see them hit missiles on the hotels there? Maybe go somewhere else. No, I have 3 mods in here. I don't think anybody's yelling. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering, can I... On the other live, it had my links and stuff in here. I don't know if I did because I was just trying to get this live back up. Yeah, people can't leave Dubai, let alone get there. I agree with that one. But they had a trip coming up in the next, like, I think 30 days. And they were like, should we go? And I was like, I mean, their airline is open now. They actually have people who can get out. But for a while, it was very hard. If you're sick, do you pull from your J's case or do you go to the doctors and save your J's? I pull from my J's case and I just refill. If I want to go to the doctors, I go to the doctors and do it that way. Yeah, what Kirby said, Jace has doctors. You guys, like, you're actually getting a prescription. Welcome in, Silver Ghost. I've heard fish antibiotics. I'm going to tell you right now, I do not stand with that. And I know someone's going to get mad in here, and that is totally fine. Here is the deal. Most people can't even do the basic math for pool shock in purifying their water. And you want people to do math and conversions for fish antibiotics for your body. You are running so many potential risks. You're not getting an actual dosage that is correct for your body. And a lot of people don't know that. They hear that they can just do it. And so they're like, yeah, I can do this, but they don't. What happens when your phone doesn't work? What if you don't have the conversion memorized? What if you don't know that? They are lower grade, Jason. I agree with that. I've heard it works. I wouldn't trust it. I'd rather just spend the $280 and then have a year supply. I have Starlink. We have a lot of comms. I do not discuss them. My husband normally talks more about them. Him and his friends are just tech junkies on them. I personally have different feelings than every other person in here on communication, and which is fine and dandy. Do we use comms all the time? 100%. 100%. We own over 80 acres. My kids use radios and GMRs and ham radios every time we go out. My kids are proficient with it. All right. Have a good night, Chrissy. Thank you so much for your help. Yeah, well, I have solar, so I'm not too worried about that. I do stream with Starlink when I'm out at the property. Here, I don't use Starlink here. So anyways, I get my ivermectin from Jace. So anyways, One of the things that I feel like it is this prepper clutch hold, and this is going to upset someone. They're going to get so mad in my comment section when I go to sleep tonight. I'll wake up and they'll be like ridiculing. Here's the thing. I used to do all the fills for when we drove convoys. I've been working with radios forever. Here's the thing. Most civilians will not understand the importance of the secrecy of communications, and they will put themselves in danger. They will put themselves in danger. Underneath my lives, there should be a link for Jace case, so you can save like $20 off your case. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people think that their comms should be like, are you not a civilian? I'm a veteran. I'm a civilian now, but I also trained about 400 people on radios. Most people now, prior when I was in service, cell phones weren't as common. Most people are addicted to this device. Most people think when something happens that they instantly need to call and check on XYZ. Everybody. I mean, how many of you guys have heard people say, well, what if I need to get a hold of my brother that's in the next town? How many times? How many times have you guys heard that just from people really being worked up with whatever is going on in the news? I agree. Repeaters are great. I agree. All of these things. However, if you're constantly doing those, you guys have a lot of faith in that you're going to be able to make sure it's so secure, while in the Middle East they would figure out what our fills were and figure out where convoys were going, and there was a lot better technology. You don't think that that could be used against you? So for us personally, we have a very, very small family. We have very strict protocols, and we don't use communications the same way as others. We just don't. I do believe in them. I think that they're great. I think that it's something everybody should really educate themselves with. But the one thing that I see that's just crazy, the way people talk about radios, is they talk about it like it's a cell phone, that they're going to do this and they're going to do this, and they have all these things. And at the end of the day, they really haven't ran those checks. They really haven't tested it to the full capacity. And yeah, so I have different feelings on it. I think that the average person will ask, well, can I get a ham radio? And I'm like, yeah, you can. And then they're like, now, do I think that they're amazing for natural disasters? 100%. But I think you should have a better protocol with your own family to know when you're going to have communications, set times of when you're going to do communications, and what you would only do communications for. So for us, it wouldn't be like, hey, are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. It is set times. Like everything is very specific on when we would use radios. And it's been drilled into everyone's heads. My kids can use radios all the time. They use them on the property all the time. But they know in an emergency, only set times would it be acceptable. Oh, they bought and never used. Oh, I see that all the time with communications. Jeremy, I don't know. Did my live cut out again? Yeah, talk to people who have lived. I think natural disasters, radios are amazing. Go for it. I think that is amazing. But if we're talking SHTF, like shit has hit the fan, you have to make sure that you have really good protocols. Like I'm testing out a rapid radio, but I heard that it can be tracked, and I have a friend who is just very into tech, and they're like, "Oh, if I can track it, I'll track it." So we're gonna test it. We're gonna push it. We're gonna see what happens, see if it's even worth. But I heard it can be tracked very easily. Will I lightly discuss other options for comms besides ham radios and GMRs? Well, ham and those are like your main ones. You could also do a satellite phone, but also you'd have to know somebody who also has a sat phone. Um, we personally will not do it unless it's an absolute emergency, but we are a tiny unit, like a tiny little family. And everybody else that is involved with us believes the exact same way. Like, we don't need to call out for help. We know where to meet, we know when to meet, what our time, how long, those kind of things. Okay, God's Marine, I'm going to time you out because you're becoming a little obnoxious. Come back in 5 minutes. Stay survived. That's something we experienced. We were on a hunting trip. We run ham radios. Ham radios, easy. We're over different ranges, mountain ranges. And understand when I'm saying like mountains, I'm not talking like, I know some places down south, people think that they're actually mountains. And to me, they're hills. We live in the Rockies. And we're talking like 10,000 feet elevation, then going over a different ridge and then different draws. And we thought we heard our friend Twitch say he got a deer. And so I was trying to locate him. Well, we weren't picking up the signal because a lot of this also depends on what your terrain is. So we were listening and it sounded like him, but we couldn't quite make it out. And so I continued to track it, and I tracked it from one side of a mountain all the way down another side of a ridge, then dropped down into a draw, came around, and it was still really scrambled. It was really hard to hear him. And I just continued to follow the signal. And sure enough, it was a man and a woman using a ham radio to scream for help because they couldn't find their dog. And I tracked them for 20 miles, all the way up, over the bench, down, coming down, out of the pass, wrap around. I mean, you guys got to figure out what your risks are. And a lot of people aren't going to invest the time or the energy. A lot of people will do different things, and then they don't realize that if the power's out or your computers are wiped, you're going to have a lot harder time making it more secure. They find the dog. It was, dude, where's my dog? Hello, Curtis. But I told you, some people are going to have very strong, very, very strong opinions on it. And so I highly suggest go follow other preppers on going into the gritty on it. For us, we don't believe, like, we do communications, but only for set circumstances. We are not the same as somebody else of like, oh, I'm going to radio in if shit hits the fan and I'm bugging out. And absolutely not. Like, and I'll say it in the harshest tone ever. I don't fucking care. I don't care what happens to you. I don't care what happens to you. I don't, no, I'm not going to try to get a hold of people. My circle is like this big. Yeah, how many people? Oh, Pam or EMT, I see that all the time. We have them in Faraday bags. Even in our vehicles, we have extra sets. But we also use, we use GMRs almost every day. Today we were at the property. One side of my property to others is miles away. We use them for everything. My kids use them. We use them all the time. But when it comes down to an emergency situation where communication could be a result in something bad, we backtrack, which not everybody's going to want to agree on, and that's fine. We do not care. If things get bad enough, everybody knows what the protocol of if they need to leave to go and meet at our property. I think radios are great for listening, 100%. Everyone gets so into radios. I always find it fun. Yeah, Stormtrooper, I agree with you. I feel like a lot of people have very different opinions on it. Is one where people are like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, go watch this creator. They're great. They love it. That is their jam. But we are not that. Our whole family is. All right, Code Red, have a wonderful night. We'll see you later. Thank you for your help. We're just not those people. Now, on the off-grid, do we use them all the time? 100%. I'm not telling, yeah, Phil, like, our family, like, I mean, it's just us 5 and then my aunt and uncle, and then we have set group of friends that all contribute and prep just as heavily as we do. They know if things are not safe where they are, where to meet, multiple different locations, when to get in contact, but not to even use anything near us. Like, that is one of the things. I didn't spend all this money buying land in the middle of absolutely bumfuck Egypt, in the middle of nowhere, for everyone to be on the radios like it's a cell phone. Like, hey, what are you doing? I miss you. Why would I invest that kind of money into it? I think a lot of people don't realize that. Do I think they're great for communications on the property? 100%. You should eat and time for bed. And it's your time. Yeah, Christy, I hope you had a really fun time on your vacation. I use silent. I really like silent. Odds are when SHTF occurs, you won't be able to even to the land unless you plan violence. Well, I plan violence. Say what? I do. There, come hell or high water. No, I won't lie to you. I'm not going to pretend it. Like, I'm telling you, you get in my way, I don't care. You get in my husband's way, he don't care. Neither of us care. I'm not that type of person. I don't care. Never have. Silent. I'll link it down under this one after we finish this live. I'll put it in the description. It's SLNT. Also, we plan to move out to our property. That's why I've been working so hard every single day. Is a Jackery 300? No. That's pretty small. I would say up your capacity on your wattage. I think you can save money with one of the links I have. I just never post links very often. You're either food for the animals or a mouth to feed. I choose violence. Feels like I won't lie to you. Like, I don't do this just for, and neither did my grandparents, and neither do my uncle, my aunt. I mean, we grew up a whole line of preppers. Like, I'm not going to be, I won't take you in either. I won't. You don't prep. I am the first. I feel like I'm one of the only female preppers that will say it to your face. Most are only pantry preparedness. I do have a very heavy pantry preparedness, but when it comes down to it, if you don't prep and you have children, I will tell you straight up, you are a shitty parent. And that is foul mouth, and I get it. And there's been people in my comment section that go, I don't like that you cuss. I will tell you right there, you don't prep for your kids. I don't. Ugh. Sorry. I think it's gross. If you become more obsessed over body armor, and don't get me wrong, I have my own body armor and I love body armor, but you don't have medications for your kids if they get sick, shitty parents. Jason says, I don't think shitty is even considered a curse. Oh, well, I feel like in Utah they would. Moderator. Do I need a moderator? I think I'm okay. I think Serena's in here, but I think we're doing good. Your kids, that's when my kids just started getting their own body armor. I mean, I will not lie to you. For my property, like I've had people threaten to come or whatever. Ugh. I can see for like a 10-mile radius around the entire thing. And I only show you guys one section because I'm never going to show my entire property. Never. I never show my entire long food storage, and I never show my actual like heavy duty water storage. I will show you smaller areas of like how to prep water, how to purify your water, how to filter your water, but I don't think it's anybody's business. Stabilizer, yes, you do need stabilizer. You don't necessarily want to store gas in an apartment. I can understand on that. Dawn, have you ever thought about doing a solar generator, a solar inverter? Ooh, nope. I feel like nope, not gonna happen. We're gonna be friends. Yeah, we train with ours. We do the Rockies over here in Utah. You guys got some beautiful terrain in Idaho, by the way. Jordan, you're here too? Okay, perfect. We still have 2 mods. We do a lot of them in metal containers because I used to work on a range when I was in the service, and so we have like a plethora of 50 cal ammo canisters, but I also seal them and then I use silica so that there is like no moisture and stuff in there. But also we do have stuff that is already preloaded, but we're constantly training. We're getting ready to start building. We have a long distance shooting range on our property, but we're getting ready to do a stack house. So that's one of those reasons when somebody asks me on how much ammo, I'm like, I don't think that there's like a quantitative number. Oh, say what? I agree with that. That's why I'm putting up so much rainwater collection because we're going to have a drought here and fires are going to be nasty. Nope's like, I want to come play. You get a bunch of veterans together that all served combat deployments together. I'm just creating their dreams for them. I was in the army. That's what the majority of our group is people we've either deployed with or we all did similar deployments. I was in for 8 years. My husband's been in for 20. I got out when we started having kids. We both were getting deployment orders constantly, and so I didn't want somebody else to raise my kids for a year and have both of us gone in 2 different units. Right now, he's in Africa. Good night, Yvonne. I hope you have a wonderful night. The biggest truth is that I'm not prepared. I'm very poor. Dollar Tree. Prep at the Dollar Tree. You can do it on what you can afford to do. Do it. You don't have to have thousands of dollars. Like this room, this was not always like this. When me and my husband, when we first started having kids, and I took a step down from my career, and we became a single income family, and we had small little kids. Like I'm gonna tell you right now, we lived off of game meat. We lived off of very, very little. And I did everything I could, like, especially like our pantry storage or our dry storage. I just did what I could when I could. I found little odd and end jobs that I could pick up to do. Oh, what Laura said. Yeah, things are a little rough. No, my husband's not home yet. Ooh, what was said? Serena said, not today. Oh, Chewbacca, you come every day and get muted. She said, absolutely not. Carson, you can have a mute now. Don't ever talk about my husband again or I'll beat your ass. How about that? Thank you. Next. It's almost midnight. Go ahead. You gonna try to get a little feisty about my husband? He's the nice one. My husband's the nice one. He's the golden retriever. I'm an a-hole. How do I stay so organized? I did logistics for a long time. Kirby, I will go give you a little run through so you can learn how to do it really quick. This room is not organized. I just got back in, so my camera equipment is out right now in the middle of the floor, but first in, first out, and I do everything from right to left. So anything that is on the furthest side on the right, I consider oldest, but everything up front is also the oldest. So this just kind of takes the science out of it. So this jar of asparagus is the oldest it needs to go. Next, it's this pickle jar. Behind it, this one's not the next oldest. That one's the next oldest. And pulling it forward, okay? Then this one would go in the back. So I keep everything very rotational. This is years and years of experience and growing up doing this. I mean, I've been canning since I was 3 years old with my grandma. And I think I've only thrown out like, I want to say 4 jars ever. But I continue to do it this way, so on and so forth. And that also goes for just groceries. Why no lids? And it's just preference. I mean, it's not going to kill you. Ooh, Serena's getting mad at you guys. You better watch your damn mouth in here. When did I say I had 50 years worth, Ram? Don't be a weirdo. Either be polite or get the fuck out. It's midnight. Crystal doesn't have the tolerance today. But the reason why is, for instance, you can see this is a very good seal. I didn't say 67 years. I said 30 years. I started canning when I was 3. Oh, you're going off that joke of 70. Oh, geez. Okay, I get where you're going. But it's just a preference. My grandma never took her rings off. And we never really had any failed jars. Spicy people being spicy go to bed, right? I really have a I don't give a crap kind of attitude. It doesn't bother me none. But I do have some jars that still have rings on them. It just depends. If you're new here and you don't think that I'll clap back at you and I'll just be like, oh, he said something horrible to me. Someone goes, only cans. Do I have a pickle recipe? I do. I could post one. They're all ready for the only cans. If you are a member in here, drop your only cans emote in the chat, please. There's literally an emote for it. I've been a live streamer for 5 years. Okay, 5 years. On TikTok, I have been in the top 100 streamers for 4 years. Please don't try to fuck with me because I will hurt your feelings. How do you know if your canned tomatoes are still good? I canned them correctly. I grew them myself and I'm not worried about them. Great question. Oh, if the lid's not bulging, no growth on the top. Ever done jalapenos with asparagus? That was a great question. There's jalapenos right there. Good eye, whoever that was. Yo, jalapeno. Yep. So I've had one failed seal. Actually, it was because of a ball lid. Let me get an example. So it was on a pineapple, but I don't have. It's gone now. But this had a failed seal. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to inspect your food. What is this? What does this look like? It's pineapple, right? Looks good. I'm not seeing any growth on the top. There's nothing black or fuzzy or anything like that. And then checking my lid. That's great. That's a great thing for you to do. And when you open it, I smell it. It smells like pineapple. We're good to go. I mean, I do it with everything. Yeah. Oh, ball lids have turned into absolute garbage. I go with Superb now. I've had more failed seals with ball while canning. Get 'em, Dawn. Get 'em. Sam, I missed your comment. How long ago did you post your comment, Samuel? I'm sorry. I'll try to scroll back up. I'm looking. What are your thoughts about women in military combat? Hurt heart to think mothers doing that, and I don't think women should ever be drafted. I hope I'm not coming off sexist. Samuel, before you leave, I have very heavy opinions on that. Here's the thing. I was very young when I deployed. I was very, very young. I was 19 when I received my orders. When I came back home, I was 21. I deployed with a Cav Scout unit. I was one of 4 females that were pulled for that unit. With a combat unit. And we spent the majority of our deployment, 90% of our deployment outside the wire. I will come off as a complete jerk in this. I do not think that women should serve in combat arms. I don't. And that is not anything against myself. And that's not, out of those 4 women I was with, I feel like I was the only one that realized my weaknesses. I am 5'1". I was only 107 pounds. And my truck crew brought it up to me and they said, if we get hit, and we got hit, you won't be able to pull us from the vehicle. And most of the girls that I was with, females, got defensive. I took it as a challenge of, okay, what is your weight? And I started working my ass off. I was in the gym twice a day, every day, lifting weights. I put on 30 pounds of muscle, and I still didn't believe what I was doing was enough. Then we ended up in a really, really sticky situation while driving a convoy. And one of our trucks got hit, and there was a female that was the driver. She was also a medic, and she had a complete panic attack. She hit her convoy or her truck commander hand while he was radioing up to us because all we saw was the IED go off and their gunner drop. When their gunner dropped, we didn't know if he was alive or dead. My job was to fill radios. He zeroed out his radio. We had no comms. We were trail. So my truck commander slides over and sits in my driver's seat. I dismount the vehicle to go approach theirs. Their vehicle is not moving. We don't know who is hit. We don't know what is going on, but everybody else has their positions and what they're doing and they're covering. I climbed up onto their vehicle and she cracked her hatch, and it was an ASV. So there's two hatches above the driver's seat and the passenger side, which is where your truck commander sits. She cracked the thing. I was sitting up there and it was not a good situation. And I will not lie. I will not, I have zero excuses for what this woman did. And she put other people's lives in jeopardy. And she put my life in jeopardy. She was having a panic attack. She was having a panic attack. And I was like, you need to open the hatch. I need to get inside. Now, mind you, a bomb had just hit that vehicle. There is shrapnel all over it. I don't know if her gunner is alive or dead. I don't know what to expect inside this vehicle. She is freaking out. So I pry the door, the hatch open, and I climb in over her. She would not let me in the vehicle. My head is sitting above the hatch. Well, she is screaming and freaking out. This is the first time I ever got a negative counseling statement in my entire career, and I took it. I slapped her. I hit her across the face. I'd never been so damn mad in my entire life. She had put my life at risk. I was only 20 years old. Her truck commander was screaming at her for her to move. I'm screaming if her gunner is alive or dead, and she's a medic. And she didn't even check on him. She didn't even check on him. So I climb over her. I go over. I'm assessing him. He obviously has a concussion. He is okay. There is no shrapnel. That was the first time I ever got my combat action badge. Just so we're all clear. I was 20. I don't think, I know a lot of people want to be feminists and that everybody can do everything the same, but there is men and women that shouldn't leave the wire. There is people, I don't think people who are not physically fit should leave the wire either. That's not me trying to discriminate. You're a liability. You're a liability. And when I hit her, she was a sergeant. I did take a counseling statement for it. Bye, sweetheart. I don't have the tolerance for you right now. I'm not threatening. If you want to threaten me or sexualize me, don't think I won't pop back at you. But what happened was leaned over, filled his radio, got comms up. We were able to roll out. Everything was fine. I don't think a lot of people understand that. But a lot of people wanted equal rights. So if there's a draft, there's a draft. If they include females, they include females. There's a lot of MOSs that are great for females. But a lot of times when people ask me, they go, well, you left the wire. What's your MOS? I will never, ever. Yeah, their truck was still drivable. Yes. I will never, ever claim their MOS because I wasn't that MOS. I deployed with them. I have silver and gold spurs. But I will never claim that because that's out of respect for them. Oh, I've watched full grown men piss themselves. I've seen full grown men. I mean, you don't know. Everyone likes to speculate what war is like until you've been in war. I've seen people who are like a rock panic. I've seen people who are more panicky in person or in an average situation turn into a rock. So, I mean, people handle things different. I mean, I received a counseling statement for that because I hit her and she made a big deal about it. And no matter what I said, even though her truck crew had like backed me, I still had like I was lower enlisted. I also was told as a female I would never be boots to ground, and I ended up boots to ground more often than I ever expected. So I have different opinions on it. I know that there's a lot of people who are like, well, I think women should do this. And when I was 20 years old, when I was 19 years old, I was like, yeah, I can do this. This is great. Yeah, fight or flight. Yeah. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's different. I've seen some of the like amazing soldiers completely panic, and they have every right to panic. There's nothing wrong in the panic. It was the fact that she forgot her oath as a medic. I hold medics way up here. Medics are they're amazing. Okay? Don't be a medic if you don't think you can do it. And that was the problem. Her gunner was 4 feet away from her and she couldn't look at him. Take orders. We're given orders and we obey our orders. So, I mean, that's just my opinion on it. It's not political. It's not. I was deployed under Bush and I took whatever orders were given or whatever I needed to do, I was going to do. And then Obama was in and we still did the same thing. Do I need glasses? Why? The print on here is very small. I mean, it just depends. I didn't lose my rank. I just took a counseling statement. I'd never been in trouble before. They were just doing it to appease her, to calm her down because she was freaking out. If there is a draft, it will be a reality check. Me, I was a 92 alpha. I was supply. That's why everything looks so beautiful. I ran a vault for years and years. Nice. Well, thank you for your service. I was saying some pretty off things in here, Army Vet, where I said I don't think women should serve in combat arms. I mean, I have a combat deployment. I served with combat arms. I have combat action badge. Multiple. I just don't think some people can hold, I don't think some people can hold it down. And I've had people say that I'm sexist or that I'm against women. I'm also against men. If you are overweight and you can't pass a PT test, I don't think you should leave the wire. I think you're a liability. You think I'm a coward because I won't let you speak the truth? What do you mean? How am I a coward? Front and center. I think they just like extended the enlistment age. Oh, I definitely think same standards. I say what? I do not agree. You know why? You know why I do not agree? And we are going to have totally different opinions and I'm going to be respectful to you. So be respectful to me. But if you don't, I'll match your energy. I do not believe the military is a terrorist organization. I believe what I have seen. I will never, ever, ever tread lightly over this. The Middle East is a fucking dumpster fire. I have seen children that were dunked in boiling water. I was Army. I'm out now, Laura. My husband's still in. I've seen children that were dunked in boiling water to be interrogated while they were interrogating their parents. I've seen children cut and burned. I escorted women back to college for the first time since what, 1969, in Baghdad, where terrorists encouraged 10-year-olds to strap on bombs to their chest and run in just because girls weren't supposed to have an education past 3rd grade. I've seen a lot of shit. So I was in Iraq. No. I think that that's something, I think that that's this social media thing, and it's like free Palestine or do this or what's trending. The truth is, they want you dead. They do. They want you dead. They don't care if you rally for them. They don't care if you like them. They don't care. A terrorist is always a terrorist. And they can be from anywhere. To agree. There's some things to disagree for the same killed. So, I mean, I think a lot of you guys have a lot of opinions, especially a lot of you that have never either A, had service members in your family that deploy and then come back. They've never experienced that. B, never been on a deployment yourself. I think you guys got a lot of opinions, and that's fine. But most of the people in here have a lot of opinions, idolize and fantasize, I'll say it, fantasize about the tactical aspect of the military. Y'all want to watch a lot of No, I'm not for Israel either. Islamic regime? Yeah, 100%. It's a freaking cult. But a lot of people have privilege. Just remember, a lot of people fought so that you can have a different opinion, which is okay. Do I think shot is going to get bad? Did I misread that, sunflower? Prepped and loaded. Over here, 100 minutes, 2 hours over on TikTok. And then the rest of the day, I have a bunch of cuts on my hand. I was working on the camper. No hard feelings, God's Marine. You're fine. If you got muted, it was probably, it felt like you were yelling or something. I don't know. Oh, the straight. Okay. You're totally good, Sunflower. I was like, I probably am misreading your comment. I think it could get really bad. I think we're about to expect a post from where's Trumpy at? Where's that guy at right now? Is he going to say something that gaslights most of America and then they think everything's A-okay so that the stocks don't take a hit? They said he posted. What did he post? Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to mute. Is it him or his handlers? I don't know. There's a quote. Wait. 4 minutes ago, hundreds are at fuel stations remained closed in the Philippines. Asian market tumble, war fuels uncertainty. 16 minutes ago, 5 drones were shot down in Saudi Arabia. I mean, there's so much going on. Hold on, let me look up Trump's Truth Social. Let's see what he's going to say. Iran will let through 20 oil tankers tomorrow. That's a good step. But it's not a big enough step. Three hours ago, I mean, that's what the last one he was posted on. Big day in Iran. Many long sought after targets been taken out, destroyed by our great military. I haven't seen a new post from him saying anything else. Have you guys? Good night. Have a wonderful night, Levio. Oh, okay. I think he's probably going to say something like, "Oh, we're reaching an agreement." What else? What else do we think he is? They're letting more. I mean, what? They said that they would let 10 ships through. 2 of them from China turned back because they felt like it wasn't safe. So, how can we make the judgment that it's all going to be hunky dory? Female, I'll see you later. Have a wonderful night. Peacefully. My ducks are good. They're just wild and loud. I mean, how many hours till how many hours till the market opens? Isn't it like 4:59 a.m. East Coast? 7-ish. Is it 7? It could be. We will find out. $8:30 Central Standard. Okay. 7 Eastern Standard. Okay. So we got about 7 hours to find out what our markets are going to do. I think he'll make a post. I don't know. We'll just call it Market Manipulation Mondays. I mean, that's what my phone looks like. I don't know what your guys' phone looks like, but Market Manipulation Mondays. I felt like it was at 5 a.m. I could be wrong. Pre-trading normally runs between 4 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're all correct. Last year I was buying sell ground beef for $5 and now I'm buying 14 for £2. Buy a quarter of a cow. Find somebody to go in on a price with you. Yeah, non-applicable. I think we're all kind of right in there. We're gonna find out. You think Bitcoin's gonna go up? Is China's market opening? Let me start with those Houthis. Do you trust our government to register a suppressor? We own 4, so yeah. Hold on. Yes?
How long do I put spaghetti as?
Are you guys there? Well, you didn't read my palm. Did I have a good... No, we left. Thomas is like, no, we left. Sorry, my daughter came in here. In Idaho, you can build your own suppressor. Oh. I didn't know that about Idaho. Did I have a good fortune? Well, she was raiding the pantry. My kids, this is a constant. They've always grown up with this. So why is your ring finger turning around your ring finger like this? My ring's too big. You don't have 6 fingers. Perfect. Perfect. Not an alien. Orchard, have a wonderful night. Yeah, she came in and she was like, "Can I have this?" And I was like, "Go for it." So, that's what this is designed for. This isn't for my kids not to use or not to know how to use. First thing she did was go over and she grabbed the closest one out forward. When my family uses the stocks, they say they're going shopping. I go shopping in here for my groceries every week. So I'll pull what I'm going to be cooking and I take it upstairs. When I see a hole in my pantry upstairs, I come back down and I refill. But then I also keep a running list so that I know what I need to preserve. You just topped off your truck and you wonder, Dan, it hurt today. Today, my Jeep, oh, it was $80. It's like $78. It was freaking awful. It was awful. I'm lucky I topped off both the trucks with diesel and we haven't used those trucks at all. But I need to haul out more rain barrels and more storage out to the property. And I know I'm going to have to take one of the trucks. To look at this hour of night. What does Australia look like right now? Curtis said we stayed. I don't know why it does that. Can somebody who does YouTube, or if anybody in here does, when live streaming on a phone, it will randomly shut it out. So then I start a new live and it won't let me resume the live. And so you guys are all stuck over there and it doesn't show over here. Now, when I do it on my computer, I can't see everything. $5.30 a gallon in Wyoming. It's $5.50 a gallon here. With what's going on with my camper, before I close this live out, we had a squirrel incident. It happened on TikTok. I realized how many soft people follow me over there. So we were in the camper. We had a lot of work to get done for the next day. So we got there pretty, it wasn't late. It was evening. And we had noticed, and mind you, I was just there 7 days ago. The mice had made it back in. And we have done so much to try to prevent this, okay? And it looked a little different this time. It turned out it was squirrels. Squirrels. But so I assessed the situation, cleaned it out. Didn't see any squirrels, okay? I didn't know they were squirrels at the time. I thought it was a rat, to be honest. And I was live streaming and I was having generator problems. And I was assessing the generator. I've never had problems with this generator. It's always been a good one for us. So trying to get that going, trying to figure out what's going on with everything. Canned squirrel. Y'all are wild in here. So I was working on the generator. I was letting it just sit for a minute and then was going to reassess it. And my son comes out and he goes, I found a mouse. And I was like, okay, let me go get it. Figured squirrels are rats with a PR agent. That's wild, Chris. I'm going to use that forever. Thank you for that. Squirrels are rats with a PR agent. I agree. So he goes, there's a baby mouse. And I was like, okay. So I just figured, let me grab a cup right here. Figured I was just going to go and scoop one up, get it out, just deal with the situation. Okay. I go into where he shows me, and it is a baby. And he goes, Mom, they got into my hoodie. And he picked up his hoodie, and babies started flying everywhere. And I said, oh, okay, let me pick these up. And I was like, where did you find them? And he's like, in my drawer. So I opened the drawer. We're talking like 11. 11. When we first got there, so I start looking around at all the traps and the bait and all of that. Oh my gosh, peaceful. That's what I'm going to get to, okay? So I find the mama. Hell no. Find the mom. The mom's dead. And I have all these infant ones. Now, mind you, I am live streaming. And I feel like you guys, everybody in here that's got some tough skin, type X in the chat. Okay? Y'all, we all understand what we're preparing for. We all understand. Some of us are avid hunters. Some of us, we got to be realistic. Okay? I realize the people following me on TikTok are like, are you going to raise the baby mice? They were asking me if I was going to bottle feed the baby mice. Bottle feed them. And I didn't even know how to break it to the people on the internet. Teresa, were you there last night? She's from TikTok and she's got thick skin. It was on a live. I couldn't even control my face. And they're like, you can raise them. And I was like, I'm going to get rid of them. What do you mean? No. It was comical. The way raise 11 feral baby mice. Oh, hell no. Right? My chickens I was not bringing them in my car back to the property. I didn't know what to do at that moment. I was like, okay. And I was like trying to be gentle for the viewers. So I put them in a plastic bag. Oh man, I pissed off PETA so damn fast. Oh. Teresa's like, I was there. Teresa, did you see my faces? I'm like picking them up and putting them in a plastic bag. And everyone's like, you can't do that. You have to take care of them. And I was like, they're vermin. And now that they're in here, I know that they've done some damage. Oh no, Thomas. No, I'm not that crazy. I mean, I'm a little crazy, but I'm not that crazy. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm like trying to figure out how to handle this, right? Because I found dead mama and there's maggots. Oh yeah, when I say it was a shit storm on live, I mean it was an absolute shit storm on a live. This is a live, that was a live that I will remember for a very long time. So I'm trying to clean this up and trying to keep it out of the view of the camera. And the babies, the 11 babies, now they don't even have their eyes open. They're crawling in this bag. And all I hear is this sound, you guys. It's literally like, and I was like, oh God, oh God. And I'm like trying to think, I'm like, how long could they have lived without their mom? Or is that the dad? I don't know. I'm not gender checking squirrels. I'm like, oh my God. What do we do? Mrs. Stoked for life. Hey, Abraham. I'm like, okay, all right. I need to assess this. The kids are freaked out. You guys have met my moderator, Mike J, in here. Mike J's out at the property. He's a good family friend. Him and his wife come out. They're like, okay, the kids, everybody is going back because rat poo and mice poo and all that, it bad, okay? I need to come back and assess this because we have a whole situation and my kids are there like, we'll sleep in the car. We are not going in, okay? So we have a generator issue, rodent infestation. Virus hunting, right? They were squirrel babies. Yeah, they were squirrel babies. And I was like, okay, so we get back and I'm like, we'll get back out there in the morning, daylight. We're gonna just go check. We'll go assess this. These freaking squirrels ate a hole in my camper. That's what I've been doing all day for the last day and a half. Two holes this big up underneath the slide and into the camper. I don't think I've ever been so mad in my entire life. Oh, they'll chew wires too. I know, EMT. I know. So get in there, clean everything out. Then I find the dad. And he was unalived. And my kids, my kids go hunting with me and fishing. I did not think squirrels was going to be the one that got their heartstrings. I really did not see that one coming. My kids go, so are the squirrels going to come home with us? And I was like, no. Well, are they alive? Did you find them a mom? No. What did you do with them? And I was like, they're vermin. They've now caused damage. Are squirrels rodents? Yes. Squirrels will eat anything. The only thing that would have made it worse is if there was raccoons in the camper, okay? The baggie is their mommy. Thomas, you are not wrong. Thomas, you are so not wrong. My daughter goes, did you let the baby squirrels sleep inside the camper last night? I was like, no. And she goes, what if they froze to death? I was like, they left. They had to go. I'm sure PETA's going to find this in here. But who said it? Squirrels are rats with a PR agent. 100%. 100%. They weren't like big squirrels. They were ground squirrels. So they're like only like this big. They destroy things. They weren't like a fluffy squirrel. Okay. They weren't like a big like gray squirrel. They were the ground squirrel. They got an eviction notice. Train station at Yellowstone. I don't even know how my kids missed it. I was getting in my Jeep. I literally walked out with the bag and I went, oh. I feel like you guys are a lot tougher skin than over there because people were like, did you raise them? What? No, I am not raising squirrels. That is horrible, AVV. Lupus is like dying right now. He's like, I can't even handle you, girl. Morning. Have a good morning. I just chugged them. And I left. I just left. First thing you don't want is ever. You wouldn't bring me inside. The squirrels? Oh no, there's somebody with an account named The Squirrels. Who is that? Who is that? You. Oh my God. Who is that? The Squirrels is joining. Who made a squirrel fake name? Who? Which one of you crazy psychos made a squirrel name? Somebody. It's somebody from TikTok. I guarantee it. Somebody just made an alternate account named The Squirrels. Who is it? Who is it? It's one. It's either a mod or a longtime follower. There's so many troll accounts. You can't do that. Mrs. Stoke for life, you're not calling PETA. It's PETA. Nah, it's mine for 20 years. Okay. How did you find me talking about squirrels in that moment? Or have you been in here the whole night? That's good, T-Dog. Randomly woke up 15 minutes ago. The Squirrels is like, I woke up 15 minutes ago and I felt like I was in the presence of a serial squirrel killer and I needed to come in. So we started off with 13 squirrels and we ended up with 0. Maybe it's someone who likes squirrels. That's fine. They were ground squirrels. My ears were burning. This was the best conversation ever. I appreciate you being here. She Thomas, she threw Chip and Dale in the ditch. I threw Chip and Dale into a wood pile and left. Chip and Dale 1 and 2 and Chip and Dale 3 and 4. Lupus is like, I can't do this. I can't. Rescue Rangers are not. Oh my God. All 13 just. I got a big, huge bobcat on that property. And I have been trying to get that damn thing for so long. They're chipmunks. I mean, it was a ground squirrel. It wasn't a fluffy. I think you guys are like thinking like a gray squirrel or a brown squirrel. They're like this big. We feed kangaroo meat to our dogs, so maybe it's like a local thing. Oh, okay. We reconnected. I was doing, thank you, Pappy. Pappy came in to save the day. I was doing them a favor. I was reconnecting the father and the mother with its children. I didn't put it in the wood chipper. I put it in the wood pile. I'm so glad. Okay, we're back. We're back. I fixed it. I fixed it. I grew up hunting and fishing. Squirrel stew is great. Okay, we're back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm gonna try to find a clip from that live because I do have the recordings of the live. I'm gonna try to find you guys a clip. And you guys have to comment the squirrels underneath. It will probably be just a shocked face of me going like this. My kids, he went to go like this. They made a nest in his sweatshirt. They tore that thing apart. All the babies went. And my face was. So. Matt's always learning a bunch of squirrel murderers. Matt, I took out 13 this weekend. They weren't going to make it. They didn't even have their eyes open. So what we assume is they gnawed through the hole into the camper, came in, had their babies, got into our bait because we've had rodent issues because we're in the middle of nowhere, okay? My fallen brethren. Oh my God. It's just a Diet Coke. But we we figured out when we got in there that, because I cleaned everything out before we left, and then we stayed the night at our friend Mike's house, and then we came back the next morning, and there was no new scat, there was no nothing, because I cleaned it out prior to us leaving. So we figure they came in, created a nest in my son's sweatshirt in his drawer, had the babies, got out to go get food, found my bait, died to my bait. Then the other squirrel went to go find food, found my other bait, died to that. So no matter what, they weren't going to survive. They weren't going to make it. And their parents could have only been gone for like a day, maybe two. I think the one that I found with the maggots, is it 3 days? I hear the taps playing in the background. Oh my God. Oh boy. But when it rains, it pours, and that's why you got to have a contingency for your contingencies. This weekend, it was just like one thing after another. Spring break plans ruined. No, I'm going back out to the property. I have to work on the property because we are moving off grid. Cause of death, too much baiting. We are moving. A lot of people don't realize that. Like, we are full swing, trying to get some core samples, get the well dug, the house out there, and then start building the shop. Like, we are done here as soon as possible. We've spent our time here. It's time for a move on. So we're trying to be out there by spring 2026 if the world doesn't get too crazy. Shit, the fan has already started for my lineage. Get out of here, squirrel. Oh my gosh. So I do have to go back out to the property. We did end up filling the hole with what is it called? Not stainless steel. Steel wool. And I had sliced up my fingers on it because I was like making sure it was packed into that hole where they couldn't get through. And then assess the other hole because they did 2 holes. Got that all situated. And then as we were returning to the property to go deal with the squirrel situation, to patch all the holes, when it rains, it pours. My kids opened the gate to let us all in because we have a big gate. And as soon as my son jumped out and the door was open, I could hear it. And all I heard was, and I was like, so I drove down the app is doing its weird closeout thing. I drove down my long driveway, and as I was reaching where the camper was, all my sensors started going off, and I knew I punctured a hole right through my tire. Thank goodness I have an extra spare tire. Thank goodness Jeeps have a regular tire, not like a donut. So then we had to deal with that, and then we still haven't figured out what's going on with the generator. Our friend is a mechanic, and he was like, it was running great, and all of a sudden it just started doing this, and so I'm gonna have to look further into it. But there's a lot of things that have to get done this week out at the property while the world is complete dumpster fire. I just checked my backyard to see if the skunk is bad. I have a tire plug kit. Pappy, it was big. I found the hole. It was big. Because mind you, I'm driving over like Shell Rock and all of that. It was big. I have a huge spare, like a regular tire on the back of my Jeep, so I just replaced it. DQ's version of Caddyshack. Yeah, the puncture was like dead center. It was like this. It was big. Because the way you could hear it was like whoosh. I went from 40 PSI to 9 just down the strip of my driveway. Serena said, not today, sir. Oh my gosh. You guys are never going to let me live down the squirrels. Boys teaming up with your squirrels and coming for revenge. Matt, get out of here with this. There's baby squirrels hiding in the hood. Call the squirrel buster. Y'all are rotten. Y'all are rotten. I just want you guys to know this. You guys are all rotten. I love all of you, but you're a little crazy. You got chased by a bat. Oh, I don't do bats. Bats are, they're so filthy. The squirrels, we will prevail. Serena, have we created a chat that's better than TikTok? 13 ghosts of squirrels pass. Oh my gosh. You asked if we had thick skin. Now, what do you think? I love you guys. I think you guys are great. Serena's like, I think we've created a better chat than TikTok. Y'all better be telling the TikTokers when they come in here. I told them about the squirrels, Jordan, and they have the squirrels, the 13 squirrels of Christmas past. These guys are great. Teresa, thanks, Teresa. These guys are great. TikTok definitely needs to level up. What's my TikTok account? Charmingly Frugal. Squirrels to the power 13. Oh my gosh. YouTuber has always been better than TikTok. I agree. Jeremy, I was very intimidated over here. Very intimidated. Every time I posted a video, people were just angry all the time. And I was like, I just don't know if this is my jam. The war has begun with the squirrels. We are building a coalition as we speak. I felt like people didn't have the same sense of humor as we do. And I felt like I had to be like more, not the word elegant, poised, precise, professional. Then I realized y'all are fucking gremlins. And I love all of you guys. I can get down with the gremlin, like being a gremlin. It's DQ March on Squirrels. Bring it on. I'll put all your babies in bags and chuck them in the wood pile. I'm done. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm done. We're coming to DQ country. Curtis says, Ayo. Fuel is almost $12 a gallon in Australia. Is that what the prices have raised to today? Have a good night, Samuel. Punch drunk. Oh, Jordan, they're better. Jordan. It was a weekend. It was a weekend. Because if you guys don't know, like steel wool, that stuff is sharp. Oh, I'm triggered. I'm triggered. The squirrel says I'm triggered. One thing for every one of you guys to add into your preps, and I'm going to do a video on it. Steel wool. I've always had some, but think about where you stay at. Holes, those kind of things, vermin, that can happen depending, especially if you're off grid. I mean, my land is undeveloped. Okay, guys, there's a lot of wildlife out there. Steel wool. I think this is one of the most underrated preps. One of the most underrated preps. Jeremy. A squirrel bag. It wasn't just any bag. It was like a Kroger grocery store black bag or white plastic bag. I've heard of them eating through it. We're going to hope that it holds them out until I get enough time to go and patch. So we came back tonight. That's why the live is so late. Not even a Walmart bag. Ooh. Human hair around it. That's a good idea. My daughter, so if you guys don't know, my daughter actually has a health condition, and so she has an appointment tomorrow. So we had to come back for the appointment here in a few hours. We'll start getting ready. Cayenne pepper, you think? Spray foam, we do spray foam already. And we had that, and we've used that around just our piping along with steel wool. But man, they got in there. And it's hard because if things kick off or if things start to get worse around this area, we will live in our camper full time. So I can't have worked on the farm. Okay, I'm going to try that. I can't have rodents getting in where we need to be staying. Cayenne for bears. They don't like it at all. They walk away. Oh. I never did that for bears in Alaska. Why didn't somebody tell me that? What about moose? We had a lot of moose in Alaska in our front yard. Spray foam is very flammable. Peppermint, lavender, peanut butter traps. I did MRE cheese traps. I hope you know how confused I was joining this stream. I'm so sorry, the squirrels. I am so sorry. Now, in our conics, we've never had issues of rodents getting in. Ours is pretty sealed. Peppermint oil and bounce dryer sheets we had in the camper for years. I'll try all of these. Oh, okay. We're not doing freeze-dried squirrel. No. I've ate squirrel before. We're not doing it again, okay? My hunting game has leveled up quite a bit. And I don't even say that as a joke. The squirrel is like freeze dry. This, oh my goodness. Dryer sheets work. They don't like the smell and the drops. And you did peppermint oil, you said? I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it because rodents, I have 4 bags upstairs. I have to go wash everything inside that camper. So I have so much work to do tonight. Nope, it works for people. Why not ground squirrels? Okay. Chris Bulldogs, those are great ideas. They're a little destructive. I mean, they chewed through the skirt under the slide out. We have to replace the entire skirt on the slide out. We have to repair the holes. We could get a cat, but we don't live out there full time. And we have a lot of predators. We have coyotes, we have bobcats, we have a cougar. We have a lot of predators out there. I just don't know if that would be the best choice for a cat. I would actually feel really bad. I have 2 cats. And they keep all the vermin away here. They're awesome. The squirrels, take it back. Take it back. Take it back. Don't do that. Don't do that. I stopped. Squirrel's like, I stopped. We're not doing experiments. I just need them gone. I mean, we've had it when we go hunting. There's always a chance of a mountain mouse to get in. I mean, they jump. They get into everything. And we've taken care of it every time it's ever happened. But I've never had a squirrel get in. Let alone 2, and then have babies, and they were living their suburban HOA lifestyle in my camper. So we're going to get her taken care of. I mean, we have 2. They are indoor, outdoor cats, and they love to hunt. The reason they're no longer outdoor cats, wording that very carefully, not the HOA, anymore, is our neighbor, the psycho neighbor, which we've discussed, I think, once briefly. We have a neighbor that's new, and he is awful, and he is a nuisance. He is a problem. If SHTF happens, he will be a problem. All of our other neighbors, they're great. They do their own food storage. I help them. We can garden. He put in complaints about my garden, my chickens, my ducks. He pounds on our door like he's the FBI. Yeah, bad neighbors are bad. He went after our cats, and then he started putting bait. I guarantee it, Tech. Guarantee it. Guarantee. That's what's happened to Utah, is a lot of transplants have moved here. And he complained about our cats outside, and all of our neighbors love it because we get voles here, little voles, little mice. They're like this big, okay? They'll wreak havoc in your garden, your homes, all kinds of stuff. Our neighbors love our cats because our cats they wiped out like a four house by 4 house area, all of the voles. Like, nobody was having any vole problems. This guy comes in, says that if my cats leave my yard, that he will get rid of my cats. And then the next thing we know, and he didn't think that we would notice it, but they set out bait traps all around the perimeter of their home. So if a rodent eats that and my cat eats that, then my cat could get very sick. So we moved our cats indoors. So they're indoors. They're only on this level of our house. So that's one of the reasons why we're moving. We're done with it. We've been here for so long. We've had chickens for 10 years. We've never had an issue. Neighbors never had a problem. During the egg shortage, we had plenty of eggs. We shared. We've always been kind. When I have excess food that I'm like overwhelmed with canning, I put it in boxes, put them out on the like out in our front yard. People come and get zucchini, squash, whatever they want. Never had a problem. Never had a problem. Now we have problems. So that's the reason why March of 2026 is supposed to be the move. Should have raised the baby squirrels for your neighbor's house. Oh my gosh. Maybe. They will chew. Yeah, just Mike. They'll chew through wires. They wreak havoc. Wreak havoc. So instead, we won't sell this house because interest rates, they're awful and we'll never find a house this cheap again. So we're just going to rent and we're just getting ready. I think I'm going to ask, I have a guy that's supposed to, that we got one Connex from. I'm going to see if I can get a secondary Connex from him to go and build a shelter over for my truck. It just sucks. I mean, he's made life miserable for multiple neighbors, and a lot of people are talking about just renting. So if you live in Utah and you want a 5-bedroom house and be able to have dogs, and I prefer ones that yap a lot, like really bark a lot, come rent my house. I'll give you a steal of a deal. Just make sure your dogs are really loud. I feel like that will like be the best revenge. Transplants are worse than squirrels. They are. I don't like it when we've had so many issues. Like our town is a rodeo town, and the transplants that have moved here have been, they want to fine people for riding their horses if their horse poops. We're a rodeo town. What? Fine people if they have goats or horses or ducks or turkeys. If you guys, how many of you guys watched in here when my son helped process his first and dispatch his first turkey? That farm has been here for 40 years and they are looking to leave now because of the issues. So instead of causing a stink, we'll just leave. RDNK. So one of the complaints was that I'm always with a camera. And I don't film outside very often. I feel like we film inside more often than anything. When I'm at the property, we film outside. But he said that I am obnoxious with my camera, blah, 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 all of these things. I'm not letting him win. And he was saying it, and I sat there and I was like, you realize what I do for a living? Like, I don't think he realizes what I do, but in my head, I was like, maybe I could buy every broken down lawnmower in a 50-mile radius and build a lawnmower front yard. And my husband had to put me in my place and say, no, we'll just leave. I was thinking a lawnmower junkyard. Like, that's Homestead, that's how I feel. Like, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, so I've never really cared what somebody else was doing. And so we just, by leaving, we're not losing. We're not giving him what he wants. He can live here. A lawnmower wall, it would be freaking hilarious. We're not losing. I mean, I have 80 acres. It's going to be, you'll pay a couple homeless guys to terrorize him. It's beautiful out there. It's peaceful out there. I love my sunrises. I love my sunsets. I love not being around a ton of people. So I don't think it's losing anything. I think it's expanding and doing something more of what we wanted anyways. So for me personally, I just felt like it was just a better move. It was just better. Called no filter. That's what my husband was doing. My husband cleaned all of his guns in the garage, like he has tables, and he left all the garage doors open, and he was pretty pissed. The neighbor, he came banging on the door like SWAT, and I was sitting in my car and I watched it all go down. He didn't know I was sitting there. And then he tried to like corner me in the car and was like yelling. And my husband was he always does it when my husband's gone. So right now, like we have all the trucks here, so he thinks my husband's here. But we have cameras everywhere. So it was recorded. The cops started a harassment. Yeah, it's just better to move on. Oh, we have cameras everywhere. Everywhere. So that's the reason why we're like, we'll do our garden here this year, and then we'll start moving all the garden beds and everything out. Oh, he comes onto this property. Yeah. Not our property. Nobody knows where that is. But yeah, he comes here. He like comes and bangs on the door and acts crazy. My kids were playing in the front yard. My son was riding his bike and he was on the sidewalk and they set off all their like Ring camera sirens. Like it's just time to go. It's just time to go. It's just time. So, I'm okay with it. He doesn't bully women. I mean, I carry. I was just like, what are we doing? So, we're just making our progress, and I hope you guys stay encouraged and stay prepping and like continue to prep constantly. Do what you can, do what you financially can. Stay aware. I mean, for us it's just moving. Just getting things set up out there and slowly transferring. A lot of people don't realize a lot of our food has been transferred out there. Yeah, he's just totally a pain. I'm going to rent to the loudest people ever. I'm going to ask him, I'm going to be like, are you a quiet family or a loud family? All right, you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And as always, stay aware, stay prepared, and always have your head on a swivel. I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to go take a nap. I'm going to go to sleep, actually. Good night. I hope you had fun. Now, for everybody that missed it, you guys have to drop the squirrels in the chat. Stay frosty. Squirrel tactical gear. No more genocide. Yeah, it's going to have to be, I might have to make an emote of it just so that everybody knows that the squirrels did live. All right, you guys, have a good one. Bye.